2,000 years after the departure of Jesus the Christ. The prophets are back to teach the real Jews, the 12 tribes of Israel, their true nationality. This is their campaign.
So, no, yes, sir, I'm going to answer your question. Let me get to the seat. How so? How so? How so? No, I said in general. I mentioned history earlier, how they overthrew many nations, set up rulers, Syria, Iraq, Iran, East India. They've conquered many dark nations I mentioned earlier, and have pushed white supremacy throughout the world. That's what I said. And not just black folks. See, as I'm saying, nations come real quick and go with the whole "We Are the World" speech. Michael Jackson is dead. That song is dead along with him.
That's right.
That's not a reality.
That's right.
The reality is this. We're out here to teach our people who they are according to the Bible and why they're in the condition that they're in. I'm not concerned about other nations, whether it be yourself, whether it be anyone outside those on this side, or those from West Africa, who we also teach to our people as well. We're out here for them. So they're going to question me about the nations or all nations. I do not care. Not because I am racist, it's impossible to be racist, but because my concern is not for them. No more than your concern is for us when you open up businesses in our stores, in our neighborhood, and exploit us and help your own people. That's what y'all do and you should do. That's what we should do. So my concern primarily is for my people and my people alone.
That's right. That's right.
If it doesn't, I'm going to ignore you and teach my brother here.
That's right.
Does the question pertain to that?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, it pertains to that. Let's see. Let's see if you want to lie to before you people listening to that behind you. That's a good question. Now you gotta think about it now, right? It's gonna be about all nations, right? It's gonna be a kumbaya speech, wasn't it? We are the world, right?
No, it wasn't gonna be that. It was gonna be like,
that's nonsense.
It's irony. Like you're talking about taking care, you're trying to explain it to your own people, right?
Right. That's what I'm
I'm not saying, like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you're right. And it's separated.
Oh, yes, it is. It should
But
be.
at the same time, whose fault is it? It is ours.
We say 3 hours. Are you Negro? Hispanic? Native American? Oh, so how the hell was it hours? It nothing to do with you. Y'all good in Jamaica. Y'all run all the stores. Y'all the boss over there. Y'all got millions of dollars, but it can't be you.
Fact.
It cannot be you.
Fact. I'll give you that.
All right.
But at the same time, you gotta realize what you're saying is the one thing that's not supposed to be happening.
What should be happening? What should
be happening is just to control your own life.
Well, we're working on that. But again, we as a nation have been through much more than we can understand.
Absolutely.
And we are, as a nation, are a work in progress. I'm not out there to teach my people that I'm better than them. My job is to teach us that we can become better than what we are now. Because I was once on the side of side. So I'm not better. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm saying that we are a nation. As a nation, we can be better.
That's right.
If we so choose. The problem is that our people, through enslavement, assimilation,
Yo, bro, Indians have been enslaved way longer than the other race.
Okay, let's go with that. Name a nation on the earth that was put on slave ships, stripped from their families, and had their identity stripped from them. Outside of our own.
That has happened to us.
It happened to you? So y'all lost y'all land and identity in slavery by white folks?
We did for over 200 years.
Really? What's the goal? And James O'Connor and all that stuff?
All that shit.
And slavery and all that for 400 years?
200.
Oh, 200 years. Oh, what happened? Explain what happened. You lost your land? No more?
Now we got it back.
We get all that? Oh, so it's the same. Listen, it's the same.
I'm still looking for mine, bro.
Thank you. So again, you're trying to find a common relation between us. There is none. That's what I mean. We are going to the Bible of the children of Israel. Where you from? East India? Pakistan? Where you from? Okay, India. You would be what the Bible calls Elam, or Persian, Xerxes. Like 300, the king Xerxes, that's your ancestors. You understand? Cyrus, Xerxes, Artaxerxes, Ahasuerus, Darius. These are your ancestors. ancestors. We're not out here for them because you guys have your land, you have your company, you have the Dutch East India Company. Y'all was involved in that slave trade, my friend. As well as the Chinese slave trade, y'all was involved in that too. You have many Negro harems. You and the Arabs, a lot of the Arabs. No! It's a slave trade, it's turned down a slave trade before it was slave trade. Because y'all guys are referred to as Asians, right? They call y'all Asians. East is Asian. All of a sudden, I want this side here. This is some of the difference between me and you. The trans-Saharan slave trade, which will be where? On this side of the sun, this side of the sun. Real quick, right here, hold that up there. During the trans-Saharan slave trade, the Chinese had us reconstruct the Great Wall. The Arabs, as well as the Africans, as well as the Portuguese, or the Chinese had us enslaved East Africa, the Muslims sold us from here, Mozambique, all these areas here, that was the Indian Ocean slave trade. They sold us into all the areas over here. And so back to Iran, which will be your people will be from, as well as one that says here, what's that? We got that one. Big Mac. Yeah, that one. So we were sold from here. Mozambique, they were called the Khoisan. Or we sold from here. It says Arab slave trade to Asia. See that? That goes to India, that goes to Philippines, that goes to all different parts of the world. So a lot of the Muslims that brought Islam to India, how y'all Muslims over there, they brought slaves with them. And y'all had them as slaves over there. So if y'all weren't enslaved, that's fine. But they did not undergo the exact enslavement, or this is the time of enslavement as we suffer. But that's what I'm out here for. Iran, not just India, y'all was in Iran, y'all was in Iran and so forth. Go ahead.
But we weren't the ones
that's between you and your God. I'm telling you, according to the Bible, the Most High told his people they're going to go into slavery, lose their nationality, lose their laws, be put into different religions, be sold in ships, stripped from their identity and their nationality, and sold across all four corners of the earth. Did that happen to your people, all four corners of the earth? No, don't lie, man. Don't lie. You nations better stop lying, man. Y'all were not sold across the four corners of the earth to all nations, and you know that's a lie.
Right.
If I research a slave trade, I guarantee I'm gonna find fault in it. I'm gonna find what's it called? Slave trade called? What was it called? You don't even know. Making things up. Listen, give me 7 verse 6.
Bring it out.
What is it? I don't know what that slave is called. I'm not gonna research it myself because one of the things the nations didn't count on was that we were given the ability to learn how to read. And that was one of the most dangerous things y'all could ever let us do. Learn how to read. Read that. You got questions, sister? Yes. Huh? Oh, thank you, sister. Deuteronomy 7 verse 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6.
Read it.
But thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Read again.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
That we are a special people above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So all nations have never time when all nations are all equal. Never time when all nations are all equal in power. Never time. It's never happened. So that's not how God has things work. Even in nature, you have the king of the jungle. There's no equality even in the animal kingdom. There's no equality. There's always one stronger than the other. That's the nature of things. There's an up and a down, left and right, ruler, slave, ruler, servant. We are the rulers, the rightful rulers of the earth. This world belongs to you. The world remains because we're still here. That's what we're made for. We're made to rule. However, we chose to serve our slaves rather than be masters. And now we are what? Niggas, spicks, savages, minorities. You know, there's more of us than all nations on earth for the majority. But we're minorities, we're losers, we're spooks, we're zombies. These are things that we've become not because of circumstance, just coincidence, but because of divine design. That's why we're in the position we're in. That's why when you find blackness mentioned, you're going to find a ghetto. In Africa, we've been there. There's a ghetto. In Israel, we've been there. There's ghettos. Europe, Germany, there's ghettos. We've been there. We're there now. Our organization. There's ghettos. Brazil, shack towns. Haiti, ghettos. Puerto Rico, ghettos. Combatios. Ghettos. Why? Divine design. God said do, we said no, he said slavery for you. Badness is for you. So you may ask, well, how do we get out of that condition? But before I answer my own question, I'm going to answer our question first, because again, divinations are here for distraction. Sister, what's your question? Thank you. Sister, what's your question?
What would you think the Hebrew names of the 12 tribes? Because when I did my research, when I seen everybody that came over here had God in their name.
Yeah, we did.
States that came over here
We did.
had God in their name.
Because he spoke it.
Exactly.
Correct.
So my thing
Go
is,
28 verse
what is the true name of the 12 tribes? Because it wouldn't be Benjamin, these European names.
Right, well, those would be the English translation of their names, rather, because I'll explain. The Hebrew, there's different dialects of Hebrew. From the time of Genesis, all nations spoke Hebrew at one time. The dividing of tongues, the languages were divided, and so the Hebrew dialect was changed into a variety of things. You have Yiddish now, you have Paleo, you have a majority of different forms of Hebrew. So to ask me which Hebrew form it is, I wasn't there to know how they pronounce the words or how they use the words back then. I can't give you that answer. But I can explain to you why these are English derivations. I can explain that to you. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 28 verse 11. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people.
With stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Why? Because our people are going to be forced or enslaved in different languages and so forth with different nations. So we will speak the name. For example, you John 19. Another example. The Messiah's name, right? When he got put in the cross, watch this. Just to give an example of what I mean by our names can go through translations, depending on the time and who's in power at the time. But the most powerful language above all languages right now is English. You'll find English everywhere because that's the nation behind that language rules. You understand? So therefore, most of the time you go to a foreign land, you're going to find an English speaker there because that language, those people dominate the world. You understand what I'm saying, Ian? So watch this. Yes. Yes, we will. You will on time. Yes, you will. I'll get to that also. Read that. John 19, 19 where it's on the cross of plaque. 19.
John chapter 19 verse 19. And Pilate wrote a title and put it on the cross. And the writer was Jesus.
Now the Messiah was given a Roman lynching. A black man, of course, he was lynched, basically. That's the lynching. The Roman cross, it was called capital punishment. When you put on wood, and they nail it, and you're hanging. That's the lynching. So the Messiah died a black man's death.
That's
He was
right.
a black man, period.
That's right.
Read on.
And Pilate wrote a title and put it on the cross.
So when he was on the cross, hanging and dead, they put a plaque on the cross to identify who he was among the other two that died next to him, among many others before him that got killed on the cross. Go ahead.
And the writing was Jesus of Nazareth.
This is English. And the writing was Jesus of Nazareth. That's English. Go ahead.
The king of
Well, not at that time, but in here. Go ahead.
the king of the Jews.
Right, go ahead.
This title then read many of the Jews.
So the Jews read this title, or it might have been Yeshua at the time, Yeshua. Some would say Yahushai, Yahusha, like I said before, different people use different terminologies in the Hebrew, so I can't say it was this. You understand? So we'll say, to be safe, we'll say Yeshua. Yeshua, King of the Jews, right? Go ahead.
For the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh to the city.
Outside the city, go ahead, but close.
And it was written in Hebrew.
His name is written in Hebrew, that'd be Yeshua.
And Greek.
Yesu.
And Latin.
Yesos, 3 different ways. So his name is written in 3 different languages. Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. And the Jews can read all, because they all spoke. Some spoke Hebrew, some could speak Greek, and some spoke Latin. They can read it in all 3. You understand? So like today, we speak his name today in English. It will be in English, it will be Jesus in English today. You understand? Or later on in Old English, Yesus or Yasis, whatever. But it's still the same. You understand what I'm saying?
The Hebrew name or
That's your choice. That's your discretion. There's no law against speaking in English because our people speak English. To edify the people, give me 1 Corinthians, and I want 1 Corinthians 14. We must edify our people in the language that they speak. When you read Acts 2, they were all given the Spirit to speak different languages to the people that were scattered. Now, give me Acts 2. Give me Acts 2. That's better.
But see, with me, the name that, the face that was put with the word Jesus is this face right here.
Right. That's true.
So it's like once you become broken, you learn the Hebrew name. So for me, I feel like we shouldn't even speak the name Jesus.
So what about the fake Jews that call him Yeshua? Who's in their mind? Is it this one or that one? When the Jews for Jesus say Yeshua the Mashiach, when they say that in their Yiddish, are they referring to him or are they referring to him? When they say Yeshua in the Hebrew,
they're referring to him.
So what difference does it make?
Right.
I feel like we would have to find ancient Hebrew name.
But what? No, you can't because it's Zephaniah 3 and 12. That's the answer to your question.
The Hebrew, the fake Jews, the Hebrew that they speak today is not the true Hebrew. It's not
the Hebrew that we speak today is on guesswork. You'd have to, if you were going to research Hebrew, you have to study the linguistics of those who study Hebrew, and based upon their pronunciation. You and I weren't around back then to know how they pronounce the word. Now, if you say, let's say that the name Elizabeth, let's say in that time it was pronounced Elizabeth, but you and I say Elizabeth. Is that her name? No, it's not pronounced correctly. So pronunciation goes in accordance with the name. So if you pronounce it wrong in Hebrew, it's still wrong. You understand what I'm saying to you? So you have to know, you have to go back in time to know precisely, hold on a second, but how the name was pronounced to say, let's go back to it. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by return to the true tongue. Watch this, Zephaniah 3, verse 8 though. 8.
Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
That ain't happened yet. Go ahead, Judgment Day. Go ahead.
For my determination is to gather the nations.
World War III, which is happening now slowly. Go ahead.
That I may assemble the kingdoms
to go to war. Go ahead.
To pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealous
nuclear fire. Go ahead.
But then will I turn to the people.
For then, he says, but that once that happens, for them means because then, once he does that, but then what?
I will turn to the people a pure language.
I will turn to them a what?
A pure language.
The pure language. That's the pure Hebrew. Once the judgment day passes and we're delivered, I will give you the pure. So you won't be doing guesswork. Well, it's Yeshua. No, it's not, sister. It's Yehoshua. No, it's not. It's Yahusha. No, it's not. It's Yahushua. We'll all know when the judgment takes place and we establish the pure names. The pure names.
Right.
Yes, but they have a question. Yes.
Why is the pyramids aligned with the Orion star?
Oh my gosh. All right. Listen, brother. Listen, give me second Ezra 4. I'm answering your question. Got you. Second Ezra 4. Let me look at it. I'm going to the right hand side. I'm going to answer your question. How many of y'all been in space? Raise your hand. How many of y'all been in space? No. I want to make sure. Maybe I might find an astronaut out here somewhere I can answer this question. I know God. White man, right? White man proved it. The white man proved it. The white man, right? The white man. Because he never lied. He tells the truth all the time. Second Ezra 4. Let me look at it. I'm going to answer it that way. I'm going to let the Bible answer it.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.